Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are joining us from today. And welcome to the Hitachi Rail Global Partners Day webinar, bringing together our supplier network from countries across the globe. My name's Geeta Pensay, and my background is as a journalist and broadcaster, and I have almost 2 decades of experience presenting and reporting on news and current affairs programmes for broadcasters including the BBC. In recent years, I've hosted political debates, covered all aspects of the pandemic and broadcast live from across the UK. Over the next 2 days, however, I'll be hosting this important event on behalf of Hitachi Rail. This webcast is your opportunity to find out more about the global rail business and hear from the executive team at Hitachi Rail sharing their vision, strategy and plans for growth across the business with a focus on the procurement and quality functions. This is now the 6th event we've done like this, and we've been around the world, including Tokyo, London and Florence, followed by a series of virtual events. With COVID-19, of course, virtual events have become the norm for most organisations. However, for us, we have also considered our core sustainability credentials when planning this event, something which you will hear more about shortly. We wanted to create an interesting 2-day agenda for you, which we'll hope you will find really useful. And whilst we wish we could all meet in person, a virtual event allows us to reach more of you, share our key business updates, whilst managing our global carbon footprint at the same time. So, on to our agenda. Today we are focused on our current supply chain. Most of you work with us already somewhere across Hitachi Rail, and you will hear from the team about some of the activity we've been working on since we last presented to you, along with some of the exciting work we've been doing specifically around sustainability and quality. Unfortunately, you will hear the dreaded word COVID several times throughout our session. The pandemic has changed the way we work, the way we live, and the world we live in forever. However, if the pandemic and ongoing recovery activity has taught us anything, it's that communication is more important than ever, which is why we wanted to continue our tradition of hosting these events to bring everyone together. It's also a great use of digital technology, which, as you will see, is a very important part of the global rail strategy over the coming years. Now, to start the session off, I wanted to begin by talking a little about Hitachi Rail as a business and the global mobility market. The world's growing population, particularly in cities, and given the indisputable challenges of climate change, the cost of living, congestion, and COVID recovery, means we need to think differently about transport in the 21st century. The future of transport is being driven by digitising and fully integrating the entire mobility system to improve the whole passenger journey. By digitally connecting everything from trains, signalling and infrastructure to operations, maintenance and passenger interfaces, the complete system can be planned, managed and optimised in real time, optimising how passengers flow through the network and how operators invest in services and maintenance. Passengers can enjoy new levels of convenience and connectivity, meaning faster, smoother and easier journeys, but also a smart mobility system that works together as one, bringing cars, buses, trains, bikes and more together into one well-orchestrated, dynamic system. The goal is to help cities, transport operators and passengers achieve low carbon, lower cost and more convenient transport by making public transport the first preference for travel, whether travelling within cities or between them. By putting the passenger first through connected mobility, people are moving away from cars and planes and onto trains. In 2021, Hitachi Rail committed to becoming a climate change innovator, creating net zero, sustainable solutions to decarbonise transport around the world. Now, where railways are not only partially electrified, they are designing and building new battery and hybrid trains and trams to cut diesel emissions and reduce the cost and disruption of electrification programmes. Hitachi's mission has always been to contribute to society through the development of superior technology. And whether it's the iconic Shinkansen bullet trains, innovative battery trains, or brand new railways, their modern transport solutions aim to enhance and improve travel while better linking journeys together. They are pioneers at heart, with a culture that emphasises solving complex challenges through dedication and ingenuity. Yet it is the partnerships, the deep and long-standing relationships with the businesses and supply chain partners like yourselves that remain critical to business success. From origins in Japan, Hitachi Rail now operates in 38 countries with strong roots in Europe, Asia Pacific and the Americas. Their technology moves more than 18 billion people a year and includes everything from commuter trains in Tokyo to signalling systems in the Arctic Circle. That global expertise means that customers are offered solutions to every aspect of a railway network. And while their reach is global, the business is local, working with communities to prioritise local supply chains and also develop new skills and apprenticeships. So with that, please make yourself comfortable, and I would like to invite Rory Lamont, Group Chief Procurement Officer, to welcome you to today's session and discuss some of the exciting opportunities you have as a supplier to Hitachi Rail to shape our fast-changing world.
Hello, welcome to Partners Day 2022. It's my pleasure to have you all here today, and thank you for making time for me and the rest of the Hitachi Rail team. I'd like to take a moment to outline what the session will consist of today. So we'll kick off with an outline of our new strategy from Andrew Barr, our CEO, and then I'll hand over to Ulderigo Zona, who's our Head of Quality and HSE. He'd like to talk to you about why quality is now becoming an even more important topic to us as a business. After that, I'm very excited to talk with Pierre-Francois from EcoVadis about the sustainability journey that he's been on with several of his clients, and to talk a little bit about the journey that we're on with him. That will be an excellent session. From there, we'll move into our awards. I look forward to presenting those to you. And then we'll close the session with a question and answer piece. All in all, I hope this is a really informative session. It is here for you, and I would welcome any questions that you'd like to put to myself or the management team by email afterwards. So with that, I'd like to hand over to Andrew Barr, our CEO.
Thank you. It's great to join everyone today from the UK and be able to speak to you all virtually around the globe. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Andrew Barr, and I'm the Group CEO of the Hitachi Rail business. Today I'm going to talk about our global business strategy with a specific focus on sustainability. I hope this will be useful and will give you an understanding of how you can support us going forward. To start, I'd like to take you back 6 months to November 2021, when the UK hosted COP26, the International Summit for Climate Change Action. I'm sure many of you saw the coverage from the event on the news, as climate change agreements were shared and signed over the 2-week-long event. A specific speech some of you may have heard was from Sir David Attenborough, who commented that, if, working apart, we are a force powerful enough to destabilise our planet, surely, working together, we're powerful enough to save it. Hearing this quote whilst at COP26 myself, where Hitachi as a group were sponsors, reminded me that it's only together that the transport industry will make its biggest contribution to the challenges we face. And that is where we need your support. I've spent my entire career in the rail industry, and the one thing that I know, and that we all know, is that this is an industry that cares deeply and passionately, not only about the people it employs or its passengers, but the community it serves. Every day, the rail industry collaborates to move people and goods safely across the country and to serve our local communities. But when it comes to climate change, we're serving a global community. So to play our role in helping us achieve the 1.5 degree target, I believe that we have to start thinking bigger, beyond rail and across the entire mobility sector. The fastest way to decarbonise transportation is by enabling the shift to lower emission public transport. Choosing rail over aviation and cars is like the difference between burning coal or harnessing the wind for power generation. If we want to decarbonise quickly, then it's an obvious choice. But that means that rail needs to compete with cars and planes, and we will have a big role to play in helping that to happen. putting passengers right at the heart of multimodal journeys that use rail as their backbone. And we are already seeing some of this change in action. I was incredibly proud to see the 3 of Hitachi Rail's rolling stock fleets featuring heavily in COP26 for the transportation plan and taking delegates to and from the venue and helping them to get to Scotland from other parts of the UK. The Lumo service was one of these fleets and is a fascinating project in the way that our customer, First Group, has positioned it directly against aviation, not just on cost, but on carbon. Many of you here today have directly contributed to that train and the LNER Azuma fleet and Class 385 trains for ScotRail, all essential to making COP26 such a success in terms of transportation. And so I want to say that a huge thank you for working on these with us on these projects in the UK. If we look further afield to Hitachi's international markets, we can see that in Japan and in Italy, where Hitachi has a very strong presence, rail has now been established as a genuine competitor and has disrupted local aviation markets thanks to its attractiveness to passengers. That's had a real long-term impact on carbon emissions and still provides great outcomes for passengers. But what next? How do we develop this further? Rail electrification is the key for decarbonisation, but we know that both time and cost make it impractical for some services. It's expensive and disruptive to electrify infrastructure. Batteries are an enabler, reducing the cost of electrification and helping to deliver programs more quickly. Battery technology is understood and it is deployable. It's retrofittable and is possible right now. In Japan, the Dencha train celebrated its 5th anniversary last year. The Dencha is the world's first battery fleet, saving over 2.7 million tonnes of carbon over the last 5 years and travelling up to 60 kilometres on battery power alone. In Italy, we're developing our next generation Masaccio regional trains, which can achieve speeds of up to 106 kph. It's top speed on battery power. For any of you attending Innotrans in September, you'll be able to see this train on display, and I hope to be able to meet many of you face to face in Berlin. But our products are just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to climate change and sustainability. We also have to decarbonise ourselves. Sustainability is playing an ever more important role in terms of what drives customer expectations and business behaviours. Collaboration between companies and their suppliers will be critical to help drive the changes that are required to deliver decarbonisation in the supply chain and improvements in human rights and more sustainable business practices. Hitachi Group has set us challenging goals to achieve our net zero by 2030 and across our entire value chain by 2050. We're making good progress on this journey, and in 2020, we're able to cut our own business's emissions by 30%, building on our 14% reduction in the previous year. There's always more to do, but I want you to know that we're taking this seriously and investing more to improve our own footprint and to support you as our supply chain to work in partnership for this important cause. If we get this right, between our customers and supply chain, we can make a huge contribution to the climate challenge. We need to think bigger and beyond rail, and it'll be a challenge to make it work, but we can make it work together. I'd like to now talk a little bit more about our wider business strategy. In a world where we see ever more focus on digital technology, and we have the opportunity to maximise this, our business is working to become a leader in the mobility sector. Despite COVID-19 and the recovery activity, the business is continuing to grow, and our strategy going forward has a clear focus on quality and performance. As we start to emerge globally from the COVID pandemic, passenger numbers in recent months on public train services are reaching 80% of pre-pandemic levels. There's some way to go, but this is encouraging, and we need to plan for the future and how we support our global customer base, providing a springboard into the adjacent and new markets that plays to our strengths as a provider of green technologies, as well as the challenge of providing digital services. We know there are immediate demands for smarter, greener ways to travel. To position the business to make this a reality, we've recently announced a new organisational structure. Overall, the structure will be simplified to focus on 2 lines of business. Each line of business will offer customers complete and comprehensive end-to-end delivery, from sales to project delivery to maintenance and services in our key regions. You'll hear from some of our leaders in this session, and we look very much forward to meeting many of you in the near future and at industry events such as Intertrans later in the year. I often get asked how our business unit fits into the wider Hitachi vision, and many of our suppliers also work with other parts of Hitachi. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about this structure. Under our parent company, Hitachi Limited, we're part of the sector called Green Energy and Mobility. We're expected to lead Hitachi's green business and contribute to realise a sustainable zero-carbon society, synergising with 3 green energy sector business units. As one of the few truly global Hitachi-owned organisations with presence in multiple regions, our business plays a critical role in the vision and growth of the Hitachi Group. All 3 sectors of Hitachi Limited will have the same drivers for growth, supported by 3 corporate functions, focusing on innovation and digital to be underpinned by global environmental targets. Our business management plan is linked to all of these, and in partnership with the wider Hitachi Group businesses, we see bigger opportunities connecting our mobility as a service capabilities within a broader smart mobility framework. To conclude, I hope you'll agree that these are very exciting times, but we can only succeed with your help and support. I want to thank you for your collaboration so far, and I look forward to meeting many of you as I can this year as we move forward on this journey. Thank you very much.
We live in an era of change, an era of unpredictable challenges. With society's issues increasingly complex, more people are standing up to combat them. In the same spirit, Hitachi has responded to these challenges for over a century with its mission: contribute to society through the development of superior, original technology and products. By combining technologies essential to today's social infrastructure, operational technology, advanced IT, and highly reliable products and services, Hitachi is delivering social innovation business to answer society's needs on a global scale, with over 380,000 employees worldwide. The driving force behind this is Lumada, Hitachi's advanced digital solutions, services, and technologies. By illuminating a range of data, Lumada turns data into insights. We are accelerating digital transformation and creating new values in a wide range of fields through collaboration with our partners. By enhancing customers' social, environmental, and economic values, we are contributing to improve people's quality of life and achieve a sustainable society. Through social innovation, Hitachi will continue to collaborate with its customers to realize a better future for all. Hitachi's social innovation is powering good.
Thanks so much, Andrew. That was really interesting. We know Hitachi Rail has an exciting future ahead, and it's great to hear, even during these difficult times, that the teams are thriving and that COP26 was such an important focus for the business. Next, we're going to hear from Ulderigo Zona, who leads the Group Safety, Health, Environment and Quality Business Unit at Hitachi Rail, and who is joining us from Italy to discuss the importance of quality with us today. Good morning, Ulderigo, and welcome to the session.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is an important day for all of us. Today we can share together our vision and our strategic goal for the next future about the quality. I wanted to start to introduce myself. I am Ulderigo Zona. I'm in charge the quality department, HSE department, and sustainability department. And I think this day gives us the opportunity to share all together our vision and also what is our next goal to be more competitive in our railway market. I want to start with our Hitachi value that I think is important to give the right direction about the quality culture. I want to start with our Hitachi key, I want to say pillar in our value. I want to start for the beginning with the harmony. What means harmony? Harmony means that all together we need to work to create quality product and also to give the capability to demonstrate to the market that our product, our project, our service will be full compliant with the market request and trend. And for this reason, I think one of the important, if we can go more in deep in the quality, we can say that we can achieve this target if we move soon in the digital transformation. We need to be more digital in our approach and also to improve our collaboration among our technicians, your technicians, but all the people from both companies. The second value is the sincerity. I think is one of the most important for the good and the right relation among the different partners that work all together to achieve the target to have a more reliable system and product. What means sincerity? Sincerity is very simple to understand, but sometimes it's difficult to achieve. Sincerity means to be transparent, to have a clear approach from the beginning of our commercial relations, to be clear about the constraint or some misunderstanding or not clear technical specification that we need to discuss together from the beginning to avoid during the life of the project to discover some gap that is very difficult to cover. I think that if we can work together with the same spirit, I am sure that we can achieve our target in a very easy way. The last point of the discussion is the pioneer spirit. This is fundamental for Hitachi to be innovator in all the area in which we operate. And railway is the new market in which the innovation is fundamental to achieve different targets from the competitiveness using the new technology that is available, to be more sustainable because with our development, our research, we can be more sustainable in our product and our system. And the last but not least, we can use this product and our product and our system to be innovator in our society. I think this is the three fundamental value in which we need to move all together. If I move ahead about our vision, supply management vision and mission, I want to start about the vision that will be the light for all the other topics. Our vision is very simple. We need to move together in a collaborative ecosystem, and we need to trust each other along the life of the project. We need to start to trust from the beginning, from the negotiation, from the scouting, from the first step in which we start our collaboration. If we move in this direction, it's more simple to achieve the other mission that we have to achieve. The first is the risk and compliance, means that we need to work, taking consideration that our company needs to be compliant with the technical and also the customer request. This means that we can be compliant also with our corporate standard and the legal requirement to be sure that we have no gap during our life, or our project life, or product development to cover with some huge work to do. The second is clear that is fundamental for us, the corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is fundamental for us and for you to be compliant with, to have safety workplace. We need to be compliant with the human right, the respect of the human right, but also to have that our people work in a very good environmental that can permit them to achieve the well-being that is the driver also for the other topics that can we discuss after. The third pillar, the third mission is the quality, performance and innovation. I think that the new technology, we are a big company, but altogether we can achieve a very important target only if we work together to take in consideration that the quality, the competitiveness and innovation is part of the same coin, and we cannot have a different approach in these three different areas. I'm sure that we work together to improve the quality, to improve our competitiveness, but also take in consideration the innovation that comes from the market. Business performance and as another mission, as you know, we need to maximize our performance. And the business performance is not only the financial performance. Business performance is the summary of different topics, starting from the delivery. We need to be more effective in the delivery time. We need to improve our performance in the disruption that we can have during the production line if we cannot identify all the process in detail. And this means that we can achieve, if we fulfill all these requirements, also the financial competitiveness. That for me is a business performance competitiveness. The last but not least, I think we can achieve all these targets only if we move soon on the digital transformation. We need to use a more digital approach in our communication. We need to use a more digital tool that can permit us to have in real-time information, and also we need to also have in real-time all the activity that can permit also to make the right fine-tuning. After that, I want to move on our expectation for the next fiscal year. I wanted to start from the quality. As you can see, we have a different message that I can send through this slide, but I want to underline the three main targets that we can achieve together. The first, we need to improve the quality of the incoming good and service. And I think that we can achieve this target minimizing the quality deficiency during the production or during the installation or during the design stage. The second point is the continuous improvement. I think that is important for us to work together to think in the future, looking our past. I think this is another important message. The last but not least, we need to have your full support in the qualification of your supplier and in the monitoring of the quality of your supplier. If I move ahead about the procurement, I think that it's simple to say that our expectation is to be more competitiveness in the financial result, means that you have a cost saving. But it's simple, but it's not our target. Our target is to achieve our competitiveness, to use our people in the best way. We need to start from a serious analysis of our technical specification to begin, to identify how we can improve these technical specification, how we can achieve some result in terms of saving that using the new technology or using our internal capability to put around the table our and your technician to identify the best solution to achieve this target. I think this is the goal that we need to achieve together. And this is possible only if we have from your side a full commitment of your top management. For engineering, I think all our success pass through the engineering. We need to reinforce our capability to work together. We need to work together from the beginning, from the design stage. Our people, your people, needs to work together as one team, because you are the owner of the technology that we buy, and you can give us the best solution to implement your technology in our system. Rail control is a summary of different technology. Vehicles is a summary of a different technology. Only if we work together with your experience, your innovation, and your continuous improvement in the research and development, we can achieve a best result in terms of reliability and also in terms of quality of our product. The last point is the supply chain. I want to say for the supply chain, I think we need to work together to improve the on-time delivery. As I said before, competitiveness is not only financial result, but competitiveness is also to achieve the target that our customer require. And if we can achieve this target, we need to work together to improve on-time delivery. This means that we need to work inside our process and procedure to identify if there are some gaps that we need to solve, and also to improve our capability to avoid any disruption along the life of the project, and to be more flexible in the production activity or in the design activity or during the shipment of our goods. And for this last point, I wanted to say that we need to work together to improve a lot the sustainability inside our supply chain. Supply chain is one of the key points of the sustainability in the next future. And we wanted to work with you to achieve this important target for us and for you to be more sustainable in the next future. I wanted to say also that it is important for us to be full compliant, as I said before, with our social responsibility in our factory, in your factory, and with your supplier, that you are accountable to guarantee us that the full compliance with the CSR inside your supply chain. I wanted to summarize all these key points in 4 important topics. One is the digital transformation. We cannot achieve any target if we don't move together in the digital transformation. After that, I want to say that is an important task for us, and will be the next target for all of us, is sustainability. We are pushing you and all our partners and suppliers to record your company in EcoVadis platform. Only the supplier that can achieve a very good target in terms of score from EcoVadis platform will be our partner in the future, because we have the same and the common target for the environment, and not only. The last point is the supply development. We need to improve the capability to identify how we need to check our production line for the whole life of the project, and this gives us more consistency in the quality and reliability of our product and service. Last but not least, I want to say all this pillar is the fundamental piece, is the last one, that our customer satisfaction. We have a business, you have a business, only if our customer is satisfied. If the satisfaction of our customer is not enough, our business has no future. But I'm sure that if we work together, we can achieve this target in common way, using our common idea to fulfill and to achieve what the customer and the market require. I wanted to close this speech, with an importance of the quality inside not only Hitachi Rail, but for Hitachi. I wanted to start from our founder of the quality, Mr. Baba. And I fully agree with the vision of the Mr. Baba today as in the past, as in the future. All our defects, all our mistake that we discover during the life of the project, we need to approach on this as a root cause analysis to identify the new solution, the new idea, the new process that can avoid the same mistake in the next future. Lesson learned is a driver for us if we want to be more competitive, more quality, more innovation. I think this is the key pillar of our future. Thanks for your attendance, thanks for your support, and I'm sure that we work together in the next future very, very close. I am fully available, not today, tomorrow, when you want, to answer your question, because it's fundamental to reinforce our relation. And I'm fully available to answer all your questions that you think that can support our improvement. Ciao.
Thank you so much, Ulderigo, and thanks again to all of you who are already putting quality at the heart of the products you deliver. We're now going to take a short break, so please take this opportunity to get a drink, and we will start back again in a few minutes with our Q&A session, looking specifically at sustainability and what that means to Hitachi Rail.
The journey has already begun. We stand in unity in the face of floods and famine. We stand in unity in the face of a global pandemic. And we have shown unprecedented unity in the face of war. We must stay on this journey together. Together we can turn the tide of history. If we envisage our destination, this is where we can ensure a peaceful life for people around the world, with an economy that's fair, where everyone can live with dignity, where all children can go to school, where they have plans and dreams that can come true, where we celebrate our differences, because doing so makes us stronger. This is where the consumer is conscious, where food nourishes without polluting, where each piece of packaging is given a new life, where the energy is clean and produced in harmony with nature, where all the different kinds of life on Earth live unthreatened, where taps save water and we grow more trees than we cut down. This is where businesses have turned ambition into action, where they give more than they take, and they are better for nature, better for communities. It may be hard, but imagine we're already there. It needn't be far, if we all strive together to reach Destination Impact.
Welcome back, everyone. We're now going to talk more about sustainability, and for our first Q&A, I would like to welcome Pierre-Francois Thaler, who is the co-founder and co-CEO of EcoVadis, and who's joining us from Paris. Good morning, Pierre-Francois, and welcome back, Rory. I'm going to hand it over to you.
Fantastic. Pierre-Francois, it's great to have some time with you again. You and I have spent a little bit of time over the past few months together as we've built the relationship between our two companies. And we invited you here today to really listen to some of the learnings you've had over the past 15 years with EcoVadis, because this journey that we're on together is so important for our two companies, but also I really want to make sure our suppliers hear from you about the power of having a rating in your piece of software. But before we get into that, I'd be really interested to hear your view on the link between quality and sustainability, and what have you observed in this area over the past few years?
First, thank you for inviting me today. I'm really glad to join this Sustainable Together Day at Hitachi. And you are talking about a journey, and indeed, I think the parallel between quality and sustainability is that it's very much of a journey, and you have lots of similar things we can find between those two management approaches. In quality, you talk about design for Six Sigma. In sustainability, we talk about design for environment. You have lean methodologies in quality, cleaner production strategy in sustainability. You're in transport, reverse logistic is another example. You can have reverse logistics to fix effective products, but now, big topic is reverse logistics for recycling and reusing. So,
absolutely.
Lots of common things. For me, sustainability is just an extension of quality. And since we are, with a Japanese company today, and I know so many of our Japanese colleagues, dialing in or participating in, I think something which is similar also with the Kaizen approach. The Kaizen approach, which is about continuous improvement. That's what we see in sustainability. Sustainability is not a binary thing where you're sustainable or you're not. It's just, finding ways through your operations to minimize waste, potentially saving costs, to minimize risks, potentially saving lives. And this, doing bits by bits and improving, that's very much at the heart of what EcoVadis is doing as well. We are doing ratings and not audits. We are providing a score which help companies benchmark where they are on this domain.
I'm quite interested in the experience you've had about how companies get into action on this topic, because it can look quite big and quite scary if you're at day one. So how do you see companies moving forward in this sort of quality sustainability piece? Do they start big? Do they typically start small? What's the view you have?
So when you talk about, like mid-sized businesses, which are often asked to do this by their customers, alongside many other things, because you also need to become more digital. You also need to improve productivity. So let's face it, that's sustainability is one more thing to do for small and medium-sized businesses, and that's often a challenge. So our advice indeed will be, don't boil the ocean. Don't try to do everything at once. I see you're wearing the SDG badge, with the 17 SDG goals.
That's
indeed,
right.
You have so many, environmental and social goals. Probably you can't tackle them all at once. So what I will suggest is you identify the 2 or 3 which are the most relevant for your business. And that's one thing the EcoVadis scorecard can help you to find out, because part of the scorecard will identify also the most material improvement areas, and tackle those 3 topics.
Sure.
And part of this you can probably also find one topic which is particularly important for your customers. I imagine
it's a really important point.
You're going to present today, what are the important goals you're after. So as a supplier, if you can find a way to solve also one of the most burning issue for your customers or for a very strategic customer like Hitachi, it's a huge opportunity, to develop the relationship, increase business, increase revenue.
I mean, I'm very excited because of the work we've done with you. We now understand where the hotspots are in our supply chain. We're really looking forward to start to engage with our suppliers on those areas to start to move into some detailed planning to help control our Scope 3 to an even greater extent. And that maybe helps me move on to the next topic. I'd love to hear at the moment, what are the key trends that you're seeing in the sustainability space? I think, when we had lunch, we talked about moving into action. That's a repeated theme I heard from you. But what are the other areas that your customers keep coming back to?
So EcoVadis, as you've said, we've been in this business for 15 years now.
Yeah.
We started 2007, and the development of sustainability in the supply chain has been pretty slow, for a number of years. Always accelerating, but it's been a long acceleration, and indeed we saw a real tipping point, or real change in the past 2 or 3 years, I would say.
Yeah.
And why that? It's, I think, for the first time we see all stakeholders pushing for the same direction. So stakeholders, it's governments, for example. Governments, number of new regulations are being enacted on sustainability. SEC in the US just pushed a new requirement around climate disclosure a couple of weeks ago. Second type of stakeholder is investors. All the finance community is now getting really, I would say, a bit crazy about ESG, environmental, social, and governance. Lots of funds, are invested in sustainable assets. And then you have consumers, and we've seen, millennials, and we've seen young generation, starting to ask for this. So all the three forces are converging, and we see a big acceleration. What are the main priorities, out of those, 17 Sustainable Development Goals? The one we hear the most in the corporate world are, I think, 1, climate, 2, biodiversity, 3, equality and inclusion.
Yeah, for sure.
And why those 3? Climate, I think you talked about it, or you will talk about it. We only have a couple of years to make a big U-turn in emissions, so that's a real burning issue. Biodiversity, it's because it's so linked with climate, and we see now species and biodiversity collapsing at a speed we have not seen in the previous tens of thousands of years. And last one, equality and inclusion, because following crises like COVID, we see a big gap, or a big increase in the disparity of wealth and income, and this is also creating risks, and also risk on democracies, which can have an impact on climate. So those topics are really very interlinked, and we see corporates really accelerating their efforts on those 3 topics and many others, of course. And that's the worldwide perspective, although that's globally, and of course we still see differences between countries. Hitachi, I think you're incredibly global with operations throughout the world, so you need to make sure you cover all the topics which are relevant for your customers worldwide. EcoVadis, we also present with 100,000 customers in 150 countries, so we've been observing I would say the convergence, because the definition of sustainability is there is more convergence now than there was a couple of years ago.
I think that the thing I've noticed is that the depth of the conversation now, when you're in a customer conversation, the theme about sustainability is continually coming in, and we must be able to answer those questions. So talking to the supply base today, us having a really good insight as to what's going on in the supply chains and the suppliers that we work with is becoming more and more important. And I think having that data to hand as well is becoming a greater and greater challenge, but one that I think we're making good strides on. If I was to maybe move on and think with you about the influence that suppliers have around the companies that you're working with, I certainly know that the supply chain has never been on the agenda as much as it is today, whether it is around the human rights of the people working in our supply chains, whether it's about the sustainability of the product we're buying or the product we're manufacturing. But what are the other aspects of the supplier relationships that your customers talk to you about?
So the first point, which is very important to understand, is for many aspects of sustainability, 80% of the problems, or 80% of the impacts, or 80% of the solutions, depending on how you look at it, are in upstream supply chain. It's true for greenhouse gas emissions. I don't know the exact number, but I guess for Hitachi, 80% of your climate or carbon emissions will be in scope 3 and
absolutely
upstream supply chain. So this explains why railway operators are looking at large OEMs like you, asking you what you're doing in your supply chain, and your own suppliers need to do the same. So, and that's true for climate, that's true for human rights, that's true for many aspects. So in a way, suppliers and all of you in this room, you have 80% of the solution. If Hitachi wants to make a big reduction in carbon, in climate and carbon emission, big reduction in waste, they cannot do it without you. And absolutely, we've seen customers, the customer we work with, really trying to move from sustainability is a risk management exercise, it's a compliance exercise, it's we need to make sure we're minimizing risks, towards how can we work with our suppliers to identify improvements, identify innovations that I will bring in in the product. And I will take just one example. It's we've been working for many years, but we're still working with Johnson & Johnson in pharma. And a couple of years ago, they set up a program which they called SEI, Supplier Enabled Innovation, where they were measuring every year the supplier, innovations generated by suppliers and value in dollars of those innovations, and focusing more and more on the sustainability innovations. How could suppliers help them with packaging and so on. And that's also a huge opportunity for suppliers. And if I take another example of Johnson & Johnson, when we work with them, one of their suppliers with a small plastic packaging company in the US called Tessie, I think. They started on this journey with a very low score, a very low score on the EcoVadis scale, because they didn't have, the right management processes on environmental topic, health and safety, social issues. And that was a big wake-up call for them, because they were at risk of losing the Johnson & Johnson business, which is an important business for them. But they decided to tackle the problem. And year one, they started to improve. Year two, they started, they went even better. And over 5 years, they went from a real laggard to one of the best in their industry. And in 2019, I think, they were rewarded by the Supplier Award of the Year by Johnson & Johnson, and also grew their business tremendously across the entire pharma industry. So we see those examples, which are win-win, where suppliers can also use this opportunity to really improve their systems and not only minimize risk for customers, but then really increase the business.
I'm really proud of the work we've done internally, but now we're at that position of having data and being quite well informed, and now needing to move into action and starting to get the alignment between our sales teams, our manufacturing teams, the supply chain is quite a delicate balance to strike. So what advice would you have for companies that are starting off on that journey? How do you move from paralysis by analysis into action? What's the things that you've observed? So
what we observe is, so indeed, you need to focus on the most material issues. Companies often make the mistake of, trying to cover, all topics at once, and trying to, and not being focused on really what is the most material issues. And second, identify both what we need to do to minimize risk and what is a real business opportunity. And I think, in this room, we have, hundreds of your important suppliers. They all have, products which could be transformed to become a sustainability opportunity, either for you or for your own customers.
Absolutely.
So it's working on, at the same time, on, okay, you need to cover the base. You don't want to be accused of greenwashing by launching sustainable product if you don't have, the basic management system to make sure you mitigate risk. So you need to do those two. Identify the three main risks and identify the key, the key service or the key product which will have a sustainable impact and will be a business opportunity.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for the great insights, and thankfully I think we've covered some of those areas ourselves. I'd like to just maybe, as we start to draw to a close, talk about what's your view, your passion for this topic, and what do you think's at risk? What's in play for companies that get this right, and what's the risk for companies that don't step up and take this challenge?
But the reason I'm so passionate about it, and we're so passionate about it at EcoVadis, is the time is really, pressing, or we have limited time to make the changes we need to make sure we can continue to live in the world and society we like to live. So I'm looking at the beautiful, landscape which this train is navigating in. If we continue operating the way we operate, I can tell you in 2050 or 2100, it will be a very different landscape. We won't have the same type of nature. So, science is telling us we have 3 years to reach peak carbon, incredibly short. We have 8 years to reach, the 2030 millennium goals, which are covered by human rights and social issues. So really, we have entered years ago into the decisive decade, the decade of our life,
Absolutely.
which will, the choices we make today as managers will impact the life of future generations. So it's a huge responsibility, but I think it's also a huge opportunity. And if I look in particular at your industry, I think no industry is better positioned to support this transition and benefit from this transition. I was taking the train yesterday in France, and the high-speed train, they have big logos now around decarbonization, explaining that the high-speed train is 50x less carbon intensive than cars and 80x less carbon intensive than planes. That's true. But it's also true that with this huge opportunity will come a big responsibility, because your industry will be under the spotlight of NGOs and consumers and investors. And in the upstream supply chain, we know there are also challenges. We know there are environmental challenges. They can be human rights challenges if you go, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5.
Absolutely.
So as an industry, you have a huge opportunity to help make this transition, but you need also to cover the base and make sure you drive the improvements which are required. So
right.
Yes, I think it's an exciting journey. I think it's companies like Hitachi who are pushing hundreds of their business partners to accelerate on this journey. You are a big driver of the change. So thanks a lot for pushing for that, and we will be very happy to be helping with the start of the journey to help companies benchmark where they are today.
Well, look, you're right. It is absolutely a massive challenge, but Hitachi loves challenges, and I think for me, on a personal basis, it's great to have this second or third dimension to how we look at our supply chain. So it's great to be working with you. I'd like to take the time to say thank you very much. I hope we get the chance to see each other face to face again at some point. And I'd just like to send a message to our suppliers. Working with EcoVadis and having a rating within the EcoVadis system is really important for us. And I hope you can see it as a way to start the journey, to bring some insight to how you're performing compared to the rest of your peers. It's been a very rewarding process for us to go through. We're actually part of this tool ourselves. And so with that, I'd say a big thank you to Pierre-Francois, and I'll hand back to Gita. Thank you.
Thank you to you both. So many important points raised there, but I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this part of the session, but I'm sure that we'll hear more about sustainability as a core theme as we continue. Thank you so much for joining us, Pierre-Francois. We're now going to move on to our Supplier Awards, where we'll be recognising some of the fantastic efforts that our partners have been making around 4 key themes: strategy, quality, sustainability and partnership. I'd like to welcome back Andrew Barr to open the presentation.
Thank you, Gita. And I'm incredibly proud to be able to introduce these awards, which have been selected from across our global supply chain to showcase some of the excellent work that you are doing in 4 key areas. I mentioned earlier that sustainability really is playing an ever more important role in terms of what drives customer expectations and business behaviours. Collaboration between companies and their suppliers is critical to help drive the changes that are required to deliver decarbonisation in the supply chain, improvements in human rights and more sustainable business practices. Therefore, our awards have been selected to highlight the areas that we expect excellence in our supply chain. Hearing the case studies for each winner and honourable mention has been incredibly interesting and informative. I'd now like to pass over to some of our business leaders from around the world to talk through our winners and their stories for our 2022 Supplier Awards, covering quality, strategy, sustainability and partnership.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Gerardo Tani and I lead the procurement team in the rail control line of business globally. I'm pleased to be able to present the first of the Partners Awards today, focused on the theme of strategy. The Strategy Award focuses on partners who have shown a strong commitment to helping Hitachi Rail succeed in the market through an outstanding focus on value delivery, cost excellence, and strategic delivery. First, I would like to congratulate the two companies who have received the honorable mention recognition in this category, CETIP and NTT Data. CETIP has supported Hitachi Rail for over 15 years to delivering signaling and construction projects. In particular, CETIP has helped Hitachi Rail to maintain a leading role in the Italian rail market through consistent delivery and collaborative value generation. NTT Data provides IT services and has supported Hitachi Rail's IT function with a number of large and complex strategic technology programs. NTT Data is helping Hitachi Rail to shape the future digital landscape and help the business delivery more value. Congratulations to both CETIP and NTT for this recognition. Now, I would like to present the winner of this category. The Partner Award for Strategy for FY21 goes to Anixter. Anixter has a long-standing relationship with Hitachi Rail, providing multiple solutions and services on a global level. Anixter have helped Hitachi Rail to deliver strategic commitments in the USA for Made in the USA content and have a highly coordinated global account team which coordinates activities across multiple countries of delivery. Anixter has driven multiple strategic programs with Hitachi Rail to reduce costs, improve productivity, and mitigate risks, which have resulted in an improved value for both parties. Congratulations to Anixter, Strategy Partner of the Year for FY21, and thank you.
Most of us expect life to run smoothly, but we don't stop to think about what it takes to make that happen. Most of us don't have to. We forget about the people up and moving before our alarms go off. The people behind the innovation and logistics, the creativity, and the know-how. The people who connect rural communities with essential services, who work tirelessly to build, connect, power, and protect our lives. But the world isn't always predictable, and unexpected challenges demand creative solutions. We rely on those willing to brave intense environments and gather the resources that fuel our daily lives. We don't have to wonder about the ins and outs of life, because that is what Wesco does. We provide innovative supply chain solutions every hour, every day, all around the globe. Our people roll up their sleeves and help create a world you can depend on, focusing on the details, the challenges, and the unexpected, so that you can live life uninterrupted. Wesco. Ingenuity delivered.
Hi, I'm Jed Barker, Vice President of Sales for the Communication and Security business at Wesco Anixter. I'm very excited to get the chance to say hello to you today and to accept the Partner Award for Strategy. For those of you who don't know Wesco Anixter, we're the largest global tech-enabled supply chain provider of electrical, industrial, and communication products, which can include audiovisual, security, IP-based infrastructure, and wireless products. I'm sure every Hitachi supplier would be overjoyed to win any award, but as a sales leader, an award that highlights being strategic in our partnership is, in my opinion, the most rewarding. At Wesco Anixter, we want every member of our sales team to learn about your business, your goals, and how we can help you achieve them. And this strategy award is a confirmation of those efforts. As a 20-plus year partner to Hitachi, we never rest on our laurels. We work hard every day to earn your business. In listening to Hitachi, we have implemented processes to provide consistent global support, product lifecycle management, and vendor consolidation. We look forward to continuing to drive new value to Hitachi through our additional capabilities, which include product enhancement, custom cabinet and panel builds, material management and vending, power distribution, specialty lighting, and safety. Our global team of over 140 engineers are available to provide technical assistance, consulting services, and support for all the solutions that we offer. As a company, we understand the need to transform to meet your future business requirements. We're continually reviewing our offerings to ensure we're bringing new and exciting solutions to the market. Currently, we're developing outcome-focused IoT services, some of which include digital twinning, smart warehousing, and comprehensive audiovisual offerings. I'd like to take this moment to thank all of our partners at Hitachi for taking the time to help us understand your business, goals, and providing us guidance on how we can provide the best possible support. And again, thank you very much, and we hope to continue to be a valued strategic supplier to you for many years to come.
Thank you, Christian, and congratulations for our first winner. I am Ulderigo Zona, Executive Officer for Hitachi Rail, and I am the Chief Safety, Health, Environmental and Quality Officer in this company. I spoke earlier about the importance of the quality to Hitachi Rail, and I am very happy to be able to present the next of the partner awards focused on the theme of the quality. The Quality Award highlights partners who have consistently met or exceeded quality standard, enabling Hitachi Rail to deliver high-quality product and services to our customers. These suppliers have demonstrated compliance to the key quality principles and processes and shown their passion for continuous quality improvement. I would like to present the two companies who have been recognized with an honorable mention in this category, I4I and Staff. I4I, part of the Chrome Brems Group, develops and manufactures electrically driven entrance system for railway vehicles for Hitachi Rail, supporting on multiple projects globally. I4I have demonstrated consistent quality from the earliest project phases through the quality delivery. Staff provided pipework components and accessories and supported Hitachi Rails on the major program in UK, including West Coast Partnership and East Midland Rail. Staff has been engaging and supportive during the first article inspection and flexible to respond to the new requirement for these projects, maintaining quality during the life of the project. Congratulations both I4I and Staff for receiving an honorable mention for quality. Next, I would like to present the winner of the quality category. The Partner Award for Quality for fiscal year 21 goes to Moore Smith. Moore Smith, a Wabtec company, is providing the automatic warning system and the train protection warning system for several projects. Moore Smith has shown significant commitment to quality during testing and the vertical inspection phases, and has gone above and behind to ensure success. They have helped Hitachi Rail to deliver significant weight saving on our train, and they have been able to demonstrate the benefit on both reliability and quality. Moore Smith has continued to deliver onto the plan without delivery issues, and were nominated by both Hitachi Rail procurement and quality teams for their outstanding performance. Congratulations to Moore Smith, Quality Partner of the Year for fiscal year 21.
Life is made of choices. Every day, we make choices about what we do, where we go, and how we get there. Like millions of others, Ines chooses to travel by rail every day. She knows that rail is a green choice. It's the only transport sector to have reduced emissions in the past 30 years. Ines also likes to know she's making the safest and most comfortable choice. And it's the easiest and fastest way for her to get to work and appointments, and to enjoy life. Our choices create our experience today and shape the world that we will live in tomorrow. At Wabtec, we believe in helping people like Ines make better choices. Our technological advances are helping train operators make the right choices to accelerate the development of rail and offer passengers a greener option for a better future. Our people are committed to innovating and making rail the transport of choice. We're making trains more energy efficient by reducing the weight of equipment, like our Metroflex and RegioFlex brake control solutions. We're using additive manufacturing to manufacture components, cutting waste. We're reducing air pollution on trains and in tunnels with advanced air filtering systems and green friction pads that reduce particle emissions. We're boosting passenger safety with platform gates and cyber-secure brake technology. And we're making rail travel more comfortable and convenient through iSmart passenger information systems. Wabtec is offering customer solutions that are safer, smarter, and greener. Because their choices today create tomorrow's world. Like Inez, we all make a million choices every day about how we live now and how we want to live in the future.
Thanks for inviting me today. It's a real honour to be awarded from Hitachi. We've been working with Hitachi for 3 or 4 years now on this East Midlands Rail project, supplying the train protection system TPWS. Working with the team, what we've got to understand is the real importance of collaboration and an open, transparent relationship. Of course, you've got to have fantastic products, which we do here at Moore-Schmidt, but over and above that, you need to have a really good customer focus, and that's where we really try to excel. There's always things going to come up in the project, and it's about how we manage those between them, and that's working together with the project team at Hitachi and the project team here. It's been a fantastic project, and we really look forward to working with Hitachi on future projects. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ulderigo, and congratulations to all the winners so far. This is Rory Lamont, the Chief Procurement Officer at Hitachi Rail. You just heard me speak with Pierre-Francois Thaler from EcoVadis about the critical role that sustainability will play in delivering on the commitments to carbon reduction, environmental protection, and improvement to human rights that we've made. Sustainability is a key strategic pillar for Hitachi Rail, and therefore my pleasure to present the Partner Award for Sustainability this year. This award focuses on partners who have shown leadership in the areas of sustainability and decarbonisation, helping Hitachi Rail on our path to net zero. These suppliers have helped us to deliver on our commitments to sustainability through the projects that they have delivered and through their own sustainable practices. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate 2 companies that have been recognised with an honourable mention in this category, PLC System and Lucchini RS. PLC System installed an innovative solar PV system at Hitachi Rail's Tito Scalo plant in southern Italy. That's allowed the plant to produce over half its own energy requirements, greatly reducing our carbon footprint and reducing our reliance on non-renewable energy. Lucchini RS has taken major steps to reduce the carbon footprint of their business, including introducing innovative and more sustainable approaches for steel production. They have also been actively working with Hitachi Rail on product circularity and recycling, helping us to reduce the waste from our own end products. So I'd like to say congratulations both to PLC System and Lucchini RS for receiving an honourable mention for sustainability. Now I'd like to present the winner of this category. The Partner Award for Sustainability for FY21 goes to Turntide and Deutsche Bahn ESG. Working with Hitachi Rail, Turntide and Deutsche Bahn ESG have conducted a collaborative design and procurement process to bring into production a battery system to be used to support the decarbonisation of the railway. Turntide and Deutsche Bahn ESG have manufactured and delivered a prototype that will allow us to offer a solution that will greatly reduce the reliance on diesel-powered generator units and, in time, has the potential to greatly reduce the CO2 output of diesel-powered trains. So I'd like to congratulate Turntide and Deutsche Bahn ESG for being the Sustainability Partners of the Year for FY21.
The world is racing to electrify its vehicles to beat aggressive net zero deadlines. Vehicles produce 24% of the world's carbon emissions from fossil fuels. Consumer cars and trucks are just a piece of the challenge. Commercial and industrial vehicles generate 55% of vehicle greenhouse gases. From commuter rail to long-haul freight, harvesters for crops to excavators for construction, passenger ferries to small aircraft. Almost everything that relies on petroleum today must run on clean energy by 2040. But the path to decarbonizing our vehicle fleets has been daunting. Until now. Introducing Turntide Electrification, the next step in Turntide's mission to optimize how humanity uses energy. Turntide brings together ultra-efficient, intelligent motors with hyperdrive batteries, drives, and power electronics into an integrated solution that will transform any machine that moves into a zero-emission electric vehicle. With Turntide, you can de-risk your electrification investment and speed progress towards your sustainability goals with reliable components that have years of battle testing in real-world applications. Guarantee optimal performance and safety from Turntide's fully integrated, matched, and balanced solution that minimizes cost of ownership and gets you to market faster. And secure your position as a leader in the drive to sustainability. Your fully electrified net zero future starts today for a cleaner tomorrow. Turntide Electrification, your solution for electrification and sustainable operations.
I'm honoured to accept this award on behalf of the team at DBESG, and I'm glad that our collaborative approach has been recognised as providing value to such an important customer. This hybrid battery box project has been a really interesting and exciting project to be involved with, and I feel that we've really pushed the boundaries of what is possible to achieve on rail vehicles. Additionally, and perhaps even more importantly, this project will further strengthen the environmental credentials of rail. Here at DBSG, our experienced team of railway designers, mechanical and electrical systems engineers, project managers and strategic consultants offer our customers innovative technical consultancy and technology integration services to the whole of the UK rail sector.
Hi, I'm Chris Pennison. I'm the SVP of Turntide Transport. We've worked very closely with Hitachi on this program of electrification and decarbonisation from the start of the project. Our supply chain has been exceptional. Our working relationship and our clear focus on delivery with Hitachi is something that we're all really proud of. The Turntide team and the Hyperdrive team especially are really proud to accept this award, and we look forward to continuing to work on programs like this with Hitachi as we look to decarbonize the world.
Thank you, Rory, and welcome everyone. I am Luca T'Aquila, Chief Operating Officer and lead for the vehicles line of business for Hitachi Rail. I am glad to have the opportunity to be able to present the final partner award for this year, which is focused on the theme of partnership. The Partnership Award recognizes outstanding collaboration and delivery in fiscal year 21. Working collaboratively with our suppliers help Hitachi Rail to deliver improved solutions to our customers and is very much aligned to our core value of harmony, sincerity, and pioneeristic spirit. I would like to present the two companies who have been recognized with an honorable mention in this category, Macnica and GB Rail Freight. Macnica is a key supplier of semiconductor and electronic components to our Mito site in Japan. They have worked in a very collaborative way with Hitachi Rail to help us more effectively manage the global semiconductor shortage and have reduced impact of this supply chain risk. GB Rail Freight have been instrumental in delivering a variety of test and validation projects in the UK and have consistently gone above and beyond working in partnership with Hitachi Rail to deliver our test requirements despite unprecedented driver shortages across the railway network. Congratulations to both Macnica and GB Rail Freight for receiving an honorable mention for partnership. Next, I would like to present the winner of the partnership category. The Partner Award for Quality for fiscal year 21 goes to Daeyoung Electric Limited. Daeyoung is a key supplier of distribution equipment for our Kasado site in Japan and is working with Hitachi Rail on projects including Taiwan Rail Authority MU 3000. Daeyoung have made a significant contribution to Hitachi Rail in terms of delivery, quality, and price. They have continued to develop the relationship over time and are partnering on opportunities for collaboration on other global projects. Daeyoung has demonstrated an outstanding ability to manage specification changes and flexibility to respond to challenges. Congratulations to Daeyoung Electric Limited, Partner of the Year for fiscal year 21 in partnership category.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. My name is Young-Woo Seo. I am CEO of Daeyoung Electric in Korea. Our company was founded in 1977, so we are a 45-year-old company, and we specialize in switchboard, communication system, lighting fixture, and sensors to various industries, including, of course, railway, shipbuilding, automobile, and defense industry. I am now sitting in a conference room in our R&D center, which is our core division, as over 20% of our employees work here, and we design, manufacture, test all our products in our factories, and our testing facilities are ILAC standard. We are, of course, ISO 9001, 14001, and 45001 certified, and we were awarded silver medal by EcoVadis last year, and we are listed in Korean stock market. We've been working for Hitachi over 3 years, and our first project was TRL project. It was, at the beginning, very challenging, especially since this COVID-19 or chaos started just soon after we started delivering our product to Kasado division. And suddenly, our engineers could not visit Kasado works anymore. So, literally, we had to carry out our very first Hitachi project, mostly online, using every possible method. It was technically, and communication was very challenging, but it was very rewarding, especially after we successfully completed this project. I am extremely honored to be acknowledged by Hitachi and even given award for this. We didn't expect this at all. And we are very much looking forward to working together and carrying on this wonderful partnership. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. It's fantastic to see so many important global initiatives taking place, and I'd like to say a big congratulations to all of our winners and honourable mentions today. Businesses like Hitachi Rail can only succeed when working closely with their supply chain, and those 4 themes we heard about, quality, strategy, sustainability and partnership, are incredibly important to remember. So with that, I would like to welcome Andrew and Rory back to join me so we can start our question and answer session. Welcome. Your suppliers have been sharing questions with your team around specific areas of your global operation. Andrew, I'd like to start with you. And the first question is, how do you decide which projects to bid for globally?
Well, it's a great question. We are, of course, a global business, over 30 countries worldwide. And so we have a strong pipeline of opportunities which we evaluate economically, but also on opportunity to grow in that marketplace. Once we've got to that point, we'll then evaluate in more detail whether that project can be successful for us. And then we'll look at against our key performance indicators to look at the financial performance. And then we'll start the process of actually entering into the bid, which is quite a large and involved process with our teams. And along that process, we do regular checks to see that the bid's in line with our expectations. And then finally, we move forward to approval and submittal. Once we've submitted that bid, we then await to see what happens next. But it's a process that we have very well run and established so that we can ensure that our bids are run in a very structured way.
Okay, thank you. Rory, so our next question. With so many global projects, will your supply chain be local, or are you looking for global partners to collaborate on multiple projects?
So the answer to that is both. So we'll always have a local aspect to the supply chain because we may be manufacturing a train for a certain country where we have requirements to have local content within that train. It could be that we're putting in place a control system which relies on standard technology that we have within the product suite. So we may have a global partner for that, and we have local partners for other projects. So it will always be a mix, actually. We have some very long-standing relationships in the supply base which we continue to nurture and work to improve. And we also have some really new relationships, some of which we're lucky to get an award today. So it is always a blend.
Yeah, so really vary depending on the project that you're working on. Andy, a real hot topic here. Can you tell us more about your plans for battery trains, please?
Well, this is an important next stage in our business because we know that there is a good opportunity for us to grow into the sustainable transportation area. We have trains we built previously that have diesel engines, and we're looking to remove those and replace them with battery packs. And also in Italy, we have the Masaccio train, which is being built from the start, some of the trains fitted with batteries. That's important because it's a way of actually introducing electric trains earlier onto routes that don't currently have it. And the reason for that is that it's quite expensive to invest in the infrastructure. So actually having trains that can start their journey, taking the power from the overhead wire, and then finishing them where there is no electric power available with batteries means that we can actually offer a new service to our customers, and it gives us a range extension as well. So it's a really exciting technology, which is actually fairly easy to implement, but brings major benefits quickly to a lot of regions.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. Rory, our next question we have is, last year we attended some supplier open days you hosted for your bids, such as HS2. Will you do more of these?
It's always something that's in our back pocket. We recently hosted some aluminium suppliers in the factory in Newton Aycliffe because we're looking to extend that part of our supply chain. So it will be something we use again. I don't think we have anything planned right now, but it will be something we use again.
Okay. Andy, we were talking about sustainability earlier, and will you be investing in hydrogen or alternative solutions such as Hyperloop or maglev trains? That was another question for you.
Well, we've looked at many different forms of powering railway vehicles, and the conclusion that we've come to is that batteries is the most available and applicable technology right now. But hydrogen is something that will certainly have a place to play in the marketplace, and we do have a trial running in Japan right now, and we are looking to see how that can be used elsewhere. Other areas such as Hyperloop, we are investigating that as an opportunity, and in maglev in Japan, we already have focused on that, and we do have projects running that are looking at that opportunity for the future.
So looking at it really closely there. So Rory, our next question that we've got, what role as suppliers can we play in your overall innovation plans?
Sure. A lot of the messaging today has been around sustainability, and I think we're really keen to hear from our supply base about what they're doing to make their businesses more sustainable as a general theme. Andy's touched on batteries, and so the battery supply chain is becoming more and more important. I think as the business starts to develop and further expand, I think our type of supply base will evolve. So as we look at transportation as a service, how do we have to develop a supply base to make sure that that is something we can support? But nonetheless, the existing supply base we have for trains, very important that we keep cost in focus, and also important that we start to think about how we generate the next version of our product, and that is a product that needs to be much less carbon intensive. So, bringing forward your ideas to our engineering teams or to our project teams or to the procurement teams is something I definitely encourage you to do.
Okay, thank you. Andrew, our next question, could you explain to us when the procurement team talk about turnkey projects? We hear that quite a bit. What does this relate to, and do you have any examples of these projects?
Well, I guess turnkey, as the name suggests, means that you are involved in more than just one aspect of the project. So this could be the building of a new railway line as an example. And we do have significant experience of this in Italy with Milan Metro, and also in Copenhagen, where we built 2 of the metro lines there. This means that we work in a consortia with other partners. That can include the building of the infrastructure in some cases, but for our portion of that would include the building of the rolling stock and equipping with the signalling equipment, and in many cases also some of the other subsidiary systems like power supplies. So really encompassing all aspects of building that railway. And in fact, in some cases, we also even operate the railway as well. So we're involved in the whole life of the project. And that's quite an important part of our business because it's such a large aspect of the opportunity.
Okay, so many stages that you could be involved in. Thank you. Rory, as a supplier, how important is it to have EcoVadis rating to work with Hitachi?
We've been working with EcoVadis for about a year now, and I think the importance of our suppliers being registered in that tool is only going to grow as we move forward. So I would strongly encourage you to register if you've been invited. Actually, Andy, we're on that tool ourselves. We've had to complete that process for our customers. I think it's been really useful for us as a business because it's given us a clear insight on how we compare, and then also how we can improve, and that's an opportunity that's available to our suppliers as well. So take the opportunity, please.
Okay. I've got another question for you, Rory, and it's about something that you spoke about back in 2020, if you can remember so far back, but it's about Brexit.
Yep.
And essentially the question is, how has this affected the business, and will you look for more supplies outside of Europe now?
When I talked about Brexit, we were, ahead of the change coming through. Luckily, when the change did come into reality, we were well prepared. The thing that's really meant for the business in the UK is there's much more evidence needed to be collected as we bring goods into the country, and that process is now well ingrained in sort of business as usual. So the team's done a really great job there. What it hasn't done is changed how we look at the supply market. Right, so we still look at the supply market globally and look to select suppliers that are best placed to support on projects or on certain technology. So we will continue to act as a global player in the global marketplace. So it really hasn't impacted our procurement strategy.
Okay, all right, thank you. And Andrew, last question for you. And this person, or people, are asking, we read that you have planned to acquire Thaler's transportation business. Can you explain when this will happen and what it will mean?
Sure. So Thaler's Transportation will join Hitachi next year, probably around about the end of Q1, so sort of March time. And we are working through the process now of ensuring that we're ready for that acquisition. And then it's my plan to fully integrate their business into ours. They are a rail control business, so very similar to our existing STS business. And I want to make sure that we get the best of both organisations as we move those two together and then create the one railway control company for the future.
Okay, thank you both so much. And unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Thank you again to all of our global supply chain partners who submitted questions for the webinar today. If we didn't get around to your question, the team will be addressing these separately and will reply to you via email or through your category manager after the session has finished. And that brings us to the end of day one. We hope you found today's sessions useful and have learnt more about the direction of the business, the importance of quality, and why sustainability remains at the core of the Hitachi rail business across the globe. I'd like to thank all of our speakers today joining from around the world, and to all of our suppliers who've joined us today to watch the sessions. Events like this, although we are not physically together, help us to be successful, and that is only possible through your support and partnership. This partnership allows us to grow together in a sustainable way, and we hope that it will continue for many years to come. Tomorrow, we switch our focus more to new opportunities and welcome suppliers who want to learn more about the rail business or find out how they can become a supplier to Hitachi Rail. If you are joining us tomorrow and have any questions that you'd like to ask the team, you can submit these on the webinar portal, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again for listening, and if any of your colleagues were not able to join today, the content will be available for 6 months following today's broadcast, and the team will share a link for them to view everything after the event has finished. I hope to see you again very soon, and we'll now pass you back to Andrew Barr, Group CEO, for closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Geeta, and thank you, Rory, for inviting me to be part of this important session. We've discussed quite a few topics today, but the key message I'd like you all to take away is the importance of partnership and working together. At Hitachi, our mission statement has remained the same for over 100 years, to contribute to society through the development of superior original technology and products. And there are many ways that improving rail transportation can improve people's lives and make society better. For passengers, we can offer them more choice for their journeys, plus a safe, reliable way to get around that runs more frequently. For our customers, Hitachi Rail is about being a trusted, reliable partner, delivering high-quality solutions while offering innovation and the latest technology to help solve their challenges. And for the broader economy, transportation is an excellent way to stimulate growth while protecting the environment. But we can only achieve our goals for society with your help. Please continue to work with our procurement, sales and projects teams, sharing ideas, collaborating and delivering high-quality products. Continue to drive your own sustainability efforts. Together, we can all make a strong contribution to fighting climate change. And please help our teams to understand how we can be better and support you as you join us on our journey. I look forward to seeing many of you in the near future. And if you'd like regular updates on group activity across the rail business, please do follow me and us on LinkedIn, where you can also reach out to the team with any specific questions. Thank you very much.